Hi, Forster fans. I'm Paityn Tabor. I'm a junior here at the college, and I'm doing the Coaches Show with Coach Kat, where we sit down every week and talk about last week's game and the upcoming one. So this week we talked about last week's game against Monmouth and the upcoming game against Beloit. Here it is. Hi, Coach. First off, congrats on the win against Monmouth and on being 8-0 and 7-0 in the conference.
Thanks. It was a great day for us. We played really well. It's much to be excited about, and put ourselves in a good spot. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Coach, obviously the run game was the catalyst for the win. We rushed for 221 yards, and in previous weeks, you guys have been a little bit more balanced between the run game and the passing game. What was Monmouth doing to take the pass game away?
They played great defense. They've always done a great job against quick game and short underneath throws. But to be honest with you, the passing game, it really wasn't that we didn't want to pass the ball. It's that we had short fields to start the game. A couple times we had the tackle on the punt team that got us inside the 25-yard line, 30-yard line, and then we seemed to be on their side of the field a lot. And our red zone mentality was go for it on all four downs, and the run game was working in such a good clip, and Damon Bonds carrying the ball really, really well. It really kind of put us in a position where not having to pass the ball was a good option.
Coach, what adjustments did you make at halftime that caused the offensive explosion in the third quarter? Because you guys scored 14 points to their 0.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of those touchdowns we can't take claim for. That was a defensive touchdown with Dante Esposito intercepting a pass for 30 yards and returning it. But our guys their confidence kept growing. And I think that as their confidence kept growing, it was fun to watch. But the points. AJ had a punt return that got us down to the 5-yard line, and so that makes things a little bit easier, and Dante getting an interception return. So it wasn't necessarily things we were doing on offense. It was being gifted great field position by our defense and special teams.
Mm-hmm. You talked about it a little bit, but the turnovers that your defense is getting, it's insane. Your defense is supplying you guys turnovers like a store supplies food. It's crazy. What have you guys done in practice that has been helping make that happen?
Yeah, we've always had our takeaway circuits, and I think that's just that word right there. Like you said, turnover, and we're very specific that it's a takeaway because a turnover requires that the offense had to do something. Takeaway means that the defense did, and we had to take that ball away. But our guys were heading on the spot. I mean, Jamari's interception off of a tip ball by Justin Elby. It's one of those. You see the big guys getting the interception, and you're like, get running. You're like, oh, he's already tackled. Never mind. And then Dante. I mean, he's been on fire this year. He's got 8 interceptions in 8 games, and like. We kind of joke on the sideline. It's like eventually people are going to stop testing him. Like they're going to look the other side and over there's Kobe Marion. He's pretty good at this stuff too. So no, I think that the coaching staff on defense does a great job, and they had probably one of their best defensive games since I've been here. I mean, I kind of told the team it's one of our top 2. The 2013 game against St. Norbert and this one were probably the 2 best defensive games that we've had at Lake Forest during my time here. You can go back to the 02 team; they had some pretty good ones, but there's no doubt that this game was pretty special that way, and it's why on Monday we did something we don't do very often around here. I've been here for 15 years, 16 years, and we've only given out 3 game balls the entire time I've been here. And Coach Butts and the defensive coaching staff got one on Monday in front of the team just because of the way that they played as a whole unit.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now I kind of want to pivot a little bit and talk about Beloit. So their head coach Ted Sankson, he's a Lake Forest graduate. And it's his 3rd season as head coach at Beloit. But before that, he spent 6 years as your offensive coordinator and O-line coach. So do you see any similarities in the offense he's trying to run there compared to the one that he ran when he was a coach here?
Yeah, I mean, if I can drop the plays and probably even tell you what they're called, and he can do the same for us. Like the playbook here is the same as what Coach Sankson was running. And he and I are great friends, spend a lot of time together through the years, traveling, recruiting, being here on campus, and sharing good barbecue and Italian food whenever we could. And watching what they do on offense, they're just such a young team. They've got, I think, 27 freshmen in their 2 deep right now. And I think that once those guys get a little bit more experience, that you can see it as the years gone on, like their scores are getting better, their drives are getting longer, they're starting to get a little bit more confident in what they're doing. It's only a matter of time. He's such a good coach. He helped us win a conference championship here in 2012. He won a conference championship at Lake Forest as a player in 2002. So the one thing I know about Ted is he's a winner, and I think that's one of those things that will kind of continue to build up there at Beloit as they just get a little bit more seasoning. And it's his 3rd season, but he missed the COVID year. They didn't play games, and so for me, I think that it's just really the first full year of having your guys go through the off season and then into the new season really makes a big difference. And I think that COVID really kind of messed that up for them. So I expect them to take a really big jump, in 2022. But we have to play them this week, and so we got to be ready for that.
Mm-hmm. So I know they're kind of struggling right now, but as you guys kind of zero in on your season goals, what problems does an 0-8 team present to you guys? Because considering they have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah, nothing to lose, everything to gain. It's senior week for us, so the senior day and parent days are being celebrated on Saturday, and so there's risks of those distractions being on top of it. I think coming off a big game like we had on Saturday, it was extremely emotional. There was a lot that went along with that. I think that we just have to make sure that we can kind of go up again and bring that same level of intensity. Even in the previous week when we played Grinnell, I don't think that we were at our emotional peak and our focus peak, and we played really well on the field. But I think that you see a lot of mistakes that, like, after you watch the film, you're like, wow, we just kind of got lucky a little bit. And I think that when we look at the Monmouth game, as focused as we were and as intense as we were against a great team, a great opponent, we were able to win the game because we did that. Where can we take that dominant mentality and apply it to all situations, not just to when we kind of decide that it's worthy? And I think that because the guys that are seniors actually played or were recruited by Coach Sankson, many of them are excited about this game. This is, a chance for them to kind of play against him. And so hopefully that's easy, but we just got to keep all those other distractions flushed out and away and not talk about anything other than Beloit.
Mm-hmm. You talked about him a little bit, but this weekend is senior day. So can you reflect on your seniors a little bit and kind of all that they've done for your program?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about the year that got stolen from them a year ago for COVID, leaving in spring, us not even being on campus in the fall, and then coming back in the new spring of 2021 and playing extra games. I mean, these guys have gone through one of the most challenging and unique experiences that any college athlete could go through, any college student could go through. And I think that their commitment to having this year be special because of everything they've done leading into it, practicing on their own, being in the weight room on their own for 9 months during COVID, coming back and doing 4:30 a.m. workouts in the spring semester because it was the only time we could have the whole facility and use different parts. I really think that these guys truly are special. Each one of them leads in a different way, and I think where you really see something cool is the guys who even aren't starters are such contributing factors. This is probably the first time that we've had seniors elected to our leadership board that aren't starters. And we even had a guy who was injured selected after he was injured, knowing he wasn't going to play the whole year. And so when I see things like that, it's just that care and that value that they bring to each individual that if our young players don't learn anything else, they should learn how to care about each other from these guys. And that should be the lesson they take with them.
Yeah. Well, that's actually all I had for you today, Coach. So best of luck against Beloit this weekend. And I look forward to talking next week after another Forster victory.
Awesome. And go get that Midwest Conference soccer tournament this week, okay?
Thank you. Will do. Go Forsters.